that course includes negative people. And that's what assertive communication and behavior does. Whenever you get on a course where you have a lot of negative people, it allows you still to remain positive during a negative time. Because when you be more assertive in difficult truth, you can always come through with love. Love will always bring you back to that state of mind where you really need to be. It'll bring you back to your first love, like flowers. I got back to my first love of flowers. That was amazing, y'all. It was like rebirth. So when you start getting back to that, it brings you back to your love. And you can claim God's promises. Don't deny the power of. Claim God's promises. God's promises come through us, and it comes through our faith. We have salvation so that we can inherit the things that God has for us. That's why we have it. So, y'all, do we have any questions? We have any questions? Okay, I got a few minutes here, and I'm gonna. Let's see. I hope this is the right thing. My phone had shut down right time we started class. And I had pulled up ways to practice being more assertive, and I'm trying to pull it up right now. I think I got it. Okay. So I'm going to just call these out, and y'all can write them down, and you can always go and, further study on this. I know I don't spend as much time on it as I would like to, so that's, another reason why you should always go and study and find out things even for yourself. Okay, so here are some tips to help you learn how to be more assertive. The first one is to make the decision to positively assert yourself. Commit to being assertive rather than passive or aggressive, and start practicing it. That's the first thing. You want to make that decision that you are now going to be a positive, assertive communicator. Number 2 is aim for open and honest communication. Remember to respect other people when you are sharing your feelings, wants, needs, beliefs, or opinions. The third thing is listen actively. Try to understand the other person's point of view, and don't interrupt when they are explaining to you. Remember, we talked about during the class when we talked about listening. You can't listen and hear what others are saying if you're talking over them. Number 4, agree to disagree. Remember that having a different point of view doesn't mean you are right and the other person is wrong. It just means that y'all just got different views on things. Number 5, avoid guilt trip. Be honest and tell others how you feel or what you want without making accusations or making them feel guilty. Listen, you don't have to make people feel guilty. I found that a person who tries to make people feel guilty actually feel guilty themselves, and it makes them feel worse because now they got to keep digging for guilt in order to keep that emotional stigma up. So don't keep digging for guilt. Spit it out. Say what is what. Don't beat around the bush. Don't beat around the bush with it. The 6th thing is stay calm. Breathe normally. Look the person in the eye. Keep your face relaxed and speak in a normal voice. Now, motivational speakers ain't going to always speak in no normal voice. But this is you. Like me, I always speak kind of like I speak. But when you're talking to people, and you know that they're a little aggressive or passive, you breathe normally. Look that person in the eye. Keep your face relaxed and speak in your normal voice. What is your normal voice to them? That's the voice that you want to use, the voice that they feel the most comfortable with. It's not kissing butt, but it's, trying to give effective communication. Y'all know we all got that serious voice. When I get show no serious, I'm kind of like, let me see. I'll look at my son and I'll be like, now, that's not right. You're not supposed to do that. I'll tell my grandchild, I'll be like, come here, let me talk to you. And they know when they hear that tone come out right there, that grandma's finna take it to town. She's finna take it to town, and she's going to let you, so she finish saying what she got to say. Okay, so the seventh thing is take a problem-solving approach to conflict. Try to see the other person as your friend, not your enemy. So many times we allow the enemy to make friends look like the enemy. Yes. Y'all, hold up just a minute. Hold on just a minute, y'all. I got to do something right quick. Hold on. All right, y'all, I'm back. That was somebody at my door. I'm so sorry about that. Y'all, that was somebody dropping off some bags. They want me to cook some stuff for them, and I ain't going to turn it down. Okay. So that's one thing I love to do is cook, y'all. Okay, so where was I at? Number 7 is take a problem-solving approach to conflict. Try to see the other person as your friend, not your enemy. One thing that we got to realize, everybody ain't our enemy. Everybody is not our enemy. And sometimes it may seem like that because they're expressing themselves. But really, if there's somebody that you've been hanging with for a while, just sit there and hear what they're saying, and then you relate your point of view. Relate your point of view to them. You know, and then sometimes, you know, we got to be careful because there are some aggressive people out here who really are our enemy. So, you know, just use discernment in that area. Okay, now the 7th thing is, no, that I already said that. Number 8 is practice assertiveness. Talking in an assertive way in front of a mirror or with a friend. Pay attention to your body language as well as to the words you say. Look, I'm telling you, you can mean something positive, but if your body language is speaking something else, your body language is louder than your words. It's louder than your words. Whenever I work with people as a private investigator, you know how I was able to tell who was lying? By their body language. They were saying all the good things in the right words, but when you look at their body language was doing a whole total 360 from what they were saying. So you can tell people whenever they're telling you the truth based on their body language. So you look in that mirror and you tell yourself that you are beautiful and that you love yourself. And in that moment, if you're standing up straight, then you really mean it. You're proud of yourself. But if you're speaking to yourself in that mirror and you kind of slouch down and you're just saying, and you're just doing it because I said do it, you may have some issues in that area. And you may have to continue speaking over yourself until you can get to that position of an upright spirit about yourself. You know, Paul says pray in the spirit. If you don't have a good spirit about yourself, it's going to be kind of hard to pray in the spirit. All right? And the next thing is use I. Stick with statements that include I in them, such as I think or I feel. Don't use aggressive language such as you always, you never. You know, how you talk to people. How you know, we hear people say all the time, how you come off on me like that? How you came off on me? That's what struck me up. How you come off on me? You know, how you come off on somebody can make the difference between a result or an insult. So you got to be careful how you come off on people whenever you're relating your point of view. A lot of times when we see people who get really serious about things, they be like, well, I feel like this. If you really meant me some good, then you would show it. Well, I feel like this. If we're going to go out tonight, then I better get me a jacket. If you wouldn't look at them and say, hey, you go get my jacket. Hey, you, if you meant me some good, you wouldn't come out all like that because that's aggressive. So you got to learn effective communication, and that's in learning the right words that you say as well. Okay, so the 10th thing is be patient. Being assertive is a skill that needs practice. Remember that you will sometimes do better at it than at other times. Remember, I told you it's a season at a time for it. It's a season at a time. If it ain't your season at a time, it might not come out like you expect. But you can always learn from your mistakes. That's the blessing in it all, is that we can learn from our mistakes. We always hear people say blessing and lesson go hand in hand, and they truly do. We can learn from all of our mistakes and just be patient. You're not going to get it overnight, but work on it. Work on it as often as you can think about it. If you can think about it daily, work on it daily. If you can't think about it but once or twice a week, work on it once or twice a week. Don't expect a complete change just like that. You will not get a whole total complete change just like that. It takes time to build up the right type of assertive, the right type of being assertive, because you don't want to end up thinking that you're assertive and in reality you are unassertive, which means you're speaking out of lack of confidence. You're speaking out of being anxious, but to you it feels like you're being assertive, but there's really no confidence there at all. You're just saying stuff because you didn't hear what somebody else say. We see a lot of preachers do that. They say a lot of things that they hear other people say just to get the crowd pumping, but reality is they don't believe that they have the confidence to actually speak to that crowd. So they use other people's words to make them look good. But you don't have to do that. You have to take your time and realize that we are in a season and we are in a time. In a season and a time like this, we need to be more assertive. And in order to be more assertive, we have to allow God to work on us, and we have to take our time with it, not be in a hurry, not rushing. And we need to know that being patient is still a virtue in this hour and season. It's still a virtue. And when we be patient, listen, if you can't put but a little dent in your behavior to become more assertive, then it's going to make a big difference. It's going to make a big difference in how you look at your relationships and everything. That's why I said it might not all come at one time. You may need to start doing it on small things, okay? So our homework assignment is just that. Our homework assignment is to pick out 3 people that you are around a lot. You're around these people a lot. You see them all the time. This is somebody that you can note their behavior. You can let them know that you know it if you want to, or you can just keep it amongst yourself. Note their behavior and how they act, how they speak to folks, and also put down there, are they passive, aggressive, or are they assertive? Note that so that you can look at it and you can see how it looks on somebody else. You can see how it looks on somebody else. Okay, do we have any questions about that? I think it's good to always look at others, because we can learn from others' behaviors. Like, I wouldn't want to be the type of person to just really be jumping to conclusion all the time. People who consistently have anxiety all the time will have everybody around them jumping. They will have everybody around them jumping. So pay attention to the people that are around you. Pick those 3 people out. It can be family members. It can be friends. I don't want you to do anybody on Facebook. I want you to do people that you're around, the people that you interact with every day, because you're going to pay attention to how their behavior is, and then it's going to allow you to be even more effective with them. You see what I'm saying? By you learning and noticing and being observant of their behavior, you'll know how to communicate even more better with them. I'm not telling y'all to judge nobody either. Don't judge nobody. I'm just telling you to note down their behavior. You be the psychologist for a day. You be the psychologist for a day and note their behavior. That's all it is. That's all it is to it. That's your homework assignment. Do we have any questions at all? At all? Any questions at all? Okay, well, I thank y'all, and I want to encourage y'all out there to always claim God's promises and don't deny his power. And